So, welcome to another episode of Dempot. And today we're going to introduce digital advocacy. So, I'm here with Alex.
Hello, Dom.
Hi. And the first thing that we have to do is to give a definition. What is digital advocacy?
So imagine advocacy, just simple advocacy, which is to create, promote, and mobilize support for a particular cause or campaign. So you can guess that digital advocacy is to achieve these goals through also the use of technology.
Mm-hmm.
And digital advocacy may include different forms, from sending emails, messages, to using social media campaigns, holding virtual events, creating hashtags. But as you can guess, in the framework of this project, also through the use of podcasts.
Mm-hmm. And although I am starting to understand why it is important in nowadays life, why it is important in nowadays life, Alex, to use digital advocacy? Does it have something to do with the fact that we are living in a very digital world?
Of course. So imagine that through traditional forms, we have the image of a superhero that is able to mobilize all around, different groups, and this needs crazy social skills, and. But through the digital presence, the public engagement is more easy, because through the digital platforms, it is more easy to advocate directly and engage audiences, fostering two-way dialogue if you need. Social media polls, there are different ways to mobilize them and to reach more target audience.
Also, it sounds like it's not very costly.
Yes, because depends on the budget, of course, and the magnitude of the cause. But to get starting, you can start with the tools that you already are given through the digital world.
Yes, and also many of these tools are free, like podcasting, that can happen for free with minimal technology. And then sometimes creativity is what saves you also some money sometimes.
Yeah, and it's also connected to the strategy that you are going to follow in order to communicate your message and mobilize the audience for a good cause. And another thing that it's important in the digital advocacy is that you can also, through the platforms, you can keep data, you can understand your audience, you can, analyze better.
Yes, analytics, track stats, yes.
Yeah.
Super.
I don't know, Dom, if you have like an example that struck your mind.
I will give at the end of this podcast a more light example, but let's start with a very serious example that has to do with digital advocacy, and that was Black Lives Matter. We remember the hashtag of the Black Lives Matter being used firstly in July of 2013, and this phrase captured the frustration and pain of the black community and became the rallying cry for those opposing racial violence and injustice. And this hashtag, of course, became globally known in 2020 after the tragic killing, of course, of George Floyd by police. So the hashtag Black Lives Matter was trending globally, was used by millions of times on Twitter and on Instagram as people demanded justice for Floyd and other victims of police violence. So we could remember in those days how by the use of this specific hashtag, the same feeling globally that people wanted to express something on that, or also organize protest and demonstration against what had happened back then. The hashtag Black Lives Matter or hashtag BLM was something that was bringing this whole movement together.
And I think it was the technology that allowed this activism to become known all over the world. Because otherwise, it might have been lost as other so many other cases.
Yes, exactly. And this is also something that I think a lot is, it is something true, but it is not something especially good, but it is true, is that marketing plays a role to how you can make your cause known, even if the cause is at the same amount important. Some of these campaigns go better because they have better ideas of how to use digital tools in order to make their voice heard.
You sound like a person who has a personal experience with this. So I don't know if you want to share
Yes.
your journey.
Just in a few words, I had started podcasting because a special tool of podcasting is what we have in focus. I started podcasting in 2016, and I had with a friend a podcast that is called still Shake and Bake, and this was a podcast about basketball. So it was a podcast about specifically National Basketball Association, the NBA, the American basketball. So having heard the conversation about digital advocacy, it sounds like something that is irrelevant.
Yes, that's what I'm about to say.
But what I have learned through this journey is that it sometimes to advocate a message, you don't start speaking about specifically social issues. Okay, let's make a podcast about this specific event that happened. You create a community with something that you love, and then through your character and through examples that come from sports, from arts, from hobbies, from anything, you convey a very important message to the people in a form that they will trust you because they have started to know you. They will give you the time, they will give you their attention. So, in many, many cases, in Shake and Bake, either through sports events or even from not sports events, we had the chance, me and Manos, my co presenter, to speak about very, very important issues and to mobilize people to take also action in issues that were either national or international as well.
So another way to mobilize the audience is also through setting a digital role model, let's say, so people can relate with your personality, with what you are saying, and yeah, this is a great example, and we will have the opportunity to listen to other great examples through the next podcast.
Yes, because this is only the introduction.
So it was this to give you a flavor, yeah, like to understand, to start thinking. But in the next podcast, we will talk more about building your digital presence, identifying the issue and the target audience, developing a strategy, an advocacy strategy, and in the end, how to measure your impact. So what was the impact that you got?
So now that you go through the introduction, keep going and dig deeper and listen to more things that we have to say about digital advocacy in order to be able to use it as well.